what you know about rolling down in the deep. When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Let It Be Known. It is a Wednesday morning, and of course, always lots and lots and lots of news. And um, I see Orangey has my my headline this morning, which is really it's like people complain like this happens all the time. Police officers do what they do, whether it's criminal or whatever. They move them to another location. And that's what's happened here. Sergeant Mark Henneman is being moved to the new wellness division in MPD. Um, he's the one, of course, responsible in the death of Amir Locke in 2022, which caused a major public outcry over the city's no-knock warrant policy. And then there's news that he drafted MPD's new use of force policy and was a training officer on its implementation. He shot Amir while serving the no-knock warrant, and Amir was not named on the warrant. He was asleep on the living room couch when SWAT officers barged in to his Minneapolis apartment that was located in the downtown area. Henneman fired 3 shots at him. And of course, prosecutors sided with Henneman, decided not to prosecute. And the dude was then rewarded for his actions, promoted to sergeant. And they they wonder why folks start yelling and protesting. But this is the latest. This guy is moving to a wellness unit. Wellness. He's like he's a sergeant. So this is like another promotion. And what does the wellness unit do? I tried to find out exactly what does the wellness unit do. Because he's certainly not about wellness. Yeah, aren't you? Just wait until the prosecutor side with the ICE agents. So interesting with prosecutors and judges. And this despite the president attacking them when he doesn't like something. And of all entities, I see Chief Justice John Roberts held back a little bit on going after Trump after Trump unleashed on the Supreme Court on Truth Social, essentially calling them un-American and calling them hacks and things of that nature or something of the sort. When the majority has sided with him on just about everything. They've given him the autonomy he now enjoys. The autonomy that has allowed him to just tell Congress, take a hike. Don't care what you say. I'm going into Venezuela. I'm going into Iran, which is becoming more and more of an issue for the United States of America, because other countries are saying we are not getting involved, or we're not helping you with this particular mission or that particular. And he's like saying, oh, we don't need y'all anyway. And Russia reports are that Vladimir Putin was like, yeah, he got himself into this. Let's see how he wiggles out of this. And now he's threatening Cuba. Cuba had the huge power outage too, but he's threatening. He says they need new leadership. He says he wants to remove it. Reportedly said he wants to remove Cuba's current leadership. And then apparently at a briefing, press conference or whatever it was, said that, oh, I can take Cuba whenever I want. This is the, these are the type of things we've never seen before. Never seen. And here's something that he does. He wants to go away, and that is what? Yes, you guessed it, the Epstein situation. And 1 month after the arrest of the former Prince Andrew, the head of London's Metropolitan Police is pushing American officials for unredacted material from the Epstein files, as if they're really going to get the truth. In an interview with ABC News, Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley said his office is in communication with the DOJ to access, I should say, the original documents related to ongoing investigations into uh, Jeffrey Epstein. And he wants Great Britain wants information on Prince Andrew, or the former Prince Andrew, and the former British ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mendelsohn. It's reported that while the Department of Justice officials have repeatedly insisted that there is nothing more to investigate stateside about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, the UK says they are not having it. They are carrying out what is being termed unprecedented investigations into both the former Prince Andrew and Mr. Mendelsohn. And among the charges they're looking at is misconduct in public office. Misconduct in public office. Emails released earlier this year by the Department of Justice suggested that both the former Prince Andrew and Mendelsohn appeared to share sensitive information with Jeffrey Epstein, which came from their roles as the UK trade envoy and business secretary. In one email released by the Department of Justice and referenced by Rowley, Mendelsohn appeared to confirm the timing of an impending bailout with Epstein during the European Union's sovereign debt crisis. And he says when he, obviously talking about Trump, doesn't like the leader of another country, he just forcibly removes them. What's to say that if he doesn't like the mayor or governor of a blue state, that he doesn't have them removed? And that's what's coming. That's what's the setup. And that's why that's probably more likely one of the reasons why he's been going after John Roberts in the Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court is pretty much in his bag. It's really to position himself, just like with the voter stuff, it's to position himself to not only retain power, but to have absolute power that he's currently enjoying. No other president in history has enjoyed the absolute power that he has. And you can argue with the wall on that. That's just the way it is. And apparently, you know, he has goals. He has goals. But Great Britain is not sitting idle on this Epstein situation. They are moving full throttle. They're moving full throttle. Well, folks, If you, like I have in the past, shared some uh, DMs on Instagram, you might want to consider what you're sharing if you want to share at all. Because Meta has confirmed that it will discontinue the key privacy feature on Instagram and the support for end-to-end encrypted messaging this year. Actually, next month is going to be the last month according to Meta, but rest assured, you can't you can't trust it. You can't trust it right now. That's for sure. But they formally announced the uh, end of end-to-end encrypted messaging. The move will affect direct messages and calls that currently rely on encryption to prevent third parties, including Meta, from accessing your communication. So don't be sending DMs and don't use Instagram to make phone calls if it's something sensitive or private. Meta says that they updated its official support documentation to inform users that end-to-end encrypted messaging ends on May 8th of this year. Instagram users with affected conversations supposedly will receive in-app notifications with instructions. Some may need to update the app to access download tools. So they're telling you should download your private messages. Encrypted messages has long been promoted as a way to protect user data from hacking, surveillance, and even the platforms themselves. At the same time, Meta is saying that there are some concerns have been raised by end-to-end encryption, which can limit the ability to detect harmful activity, including child exploitation. If they cared anything about children, the Epstein files would be acted upon properly, right? it, it would be properly acted upon. They have previously emphasized, the company did, that no one can read your messages or hear your calls except the people who have these special keys and not even Meta. But who has the special keys? They're now saying that users who want to retain copies of their encrypted conversations, of course, like we said, to download them, and that encrypted messages will still be available on WhatsApp. Who owns WhatsApp? Who owns WhatsApp? You guessed it, Meta. Meta owns WhatsApp. Oh gosh, nothing. Remember they used to say Big Brother is watching. It's not Big Brother, that's for sure. I would take my Big Brother watching over uh, Zuckerberg and his people and Elon Musk and his people. Big Brother's watching, yeah, okay. So it's been really cold, and then it was hot for a couple of days, and then cold and rainy and all of that again. Well, if you're in the western part of the United States, you're about to get a heat wave. Record-challenging heat will surge across the Southwest this week as a stubborn heat dome sends temperatures into the 90s, even past 100 degrees in some cities. Man, it's March. These are levels that are typically for early summer in these locations. Much of the Southwest is expected to shift from near average temperatures to early summer heat, about 90 degrees. Um, while the heat dome is expected to go on and may not begin to weaken until next week. So they're expecting this burst of summer-like heat that's going to build across the Southwest. Los Angeles, for instance, will have highs in the mid 90s. Some places in the upper 90s. Las Vegas is going to reach the mid 90s. all the way expected to happen all the way through Tuesday of next week. And if you're in Phoenix, stay inside. 106 degrees is supposed to be the average temperature over the next several days in Phoenix, and that's going to break the daily records by about around 10 degrees for this time of year. The earliest 100-degree reading in Phoenix occurred on March 26, 1988. So they're coming up on an anniversary, which they will be uh, du- dutifully reminded of. The average high temperature for March is typically in the upper 70s to near 80s out there. They're going to be in the hundreds. So if you're planning on taking a trip, and look, keep yourself keep yourself hydrated, cool off with a bath or wet towel. Oh man, unreal, unreal. I'm not going out there anytime soon. Although I need to go out there, right? I do need to go out there. I need to take a trip. Yeah, Dr. Nicole. That's how it looks. Um, so, folks, if you are with all the chaos, we've talked about this before, how there's been folks moving abroad, and now there's a new report that says that warm weather, a low cost of living, and a relaxed pace have always been high on the list of criteria for people looking for a place to retire. However, for Americans, an increasing number of Americans, according to Bloomberg, the ideal destination has another ingredient to it, and that is being outside of the United States, period. They say cost is a major concern in America. Many countries are offering a high living standard for far less money than in the States, especially when it comes to housing and healthcare. As you know, Canada with free healthcare, uh, France has very, very, very inexpensive healthcare, and other countries offer free or very low cost healthcare. They also point to political instability in the U.S., which is also at the front of minds, according to Bloomberg. The Americans are seeking overseas residencies and potentially citizenship for their offspring. Yeah, because you worry about your kids. So they're looking to get out of here. But the problem is, everywhere you go is being bombed. But they're saying they're looking for that stability, that political stability. I don't know where they're going to get political stability from. I don't think that exists. Um, they're looking for some sort of peace of mind. They're looking for lower costs. They just the stuff that goes on, but and you hear it constantly, and then you see the control of the media. There's a report about the whole conglomerate: CBS, CNN, Netflix, Paramount, all of them under the umbrella of this Ellison guy who is under Trump. And so, Sinners celebrated the Oscar wins that they had. What was it, 4 the other day? You could going forward. Yeah, it's too much like the diversity, equity, inclusion, and so they're gonna be controlling all this stuff. RG says it's great weather to boil crawfish this weekend, and congratulations to House men's basketball team. They started off the road to the Final Four with a victory. It is March Madness, so check out the RNG Swag Sports. He always has some great stuff, as we know. Speaking of travel, and we know so this Bloomberg report, you know, does it pertain to people who look like us? Nah, nah. So what about African Americans and people of color? The 11 most African American uh, friendly countries in the world. Let's check it out, folks.
Where is it the safest? Where will we not be judged based on the color of our skin? I get this question all the time, so I know it's a really hot topic. And after traveling to about 77 countries, I'm going to share with you 11 of the top friendly countries for African Americans. I've been to certain countries, and it's like when you get there, everybody's staring. Sometimes you'll walk past people and they're kind of like snickering to like their friends. I've been to other places where, you know, people want to take a bunch of pictures of you, sometimes of you and sometimes with you. And on one side, you feel like kind of like a celebrity a little bit. But on another side, you're like, man, this is a little excessive. Like, you don't want to just have people taking pictures of you like this, right? It could be a little much, especially if you're there on vacation or holiday. So let's get into it. Number 11, Colombia. I love Colombia. From the amazing people, the beaches, the food. There's so many amazing parts of Colombia, from Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena, Cali. There's so many great places to visit in that country. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a gem. If you visit Cartagena, just outside of Cartagena, about 1 hour, there's an area called San Basilio de Palenque. This is the first free African town in the Americas, right? It was founded by escaped slaves. Going there is such a unique experience. From the culture, the history, the food, you learn so much. But just like experiencing places like that while being in Colombia, that just goes to show you how much Black culture is deep rooted within just the history and foundation of Colombia, which is really another reason why this is such a friendly place towards African Americans. So I would highly encourage you to visit Colombia for sure. Number 10, we have Honduras. You have amazing places like Roatan, which is probably one of the most popular cities in Honduras. But there you find amazing beaches, you know, hotels, amazing food, amazing scenery. It's just an absolute amazing place to visit. And Roatan is also home to the Garifuna people. And the Garifunas are descendants of Africans. And while visiting Roatan, one of my favorite places to visit was Punta Gorda, which is a neighborhood filled with the Garifuna people. There, I had amazing food. I got a chance to learn about the history of the Garifunas and how they intertwined with Honduras, and just so much more. Roatan Garifuna communities are known for their music, food, vibrant festivals. African Americans who visit Roatan find the welcoming Garifuna culture a familiar and comfortable experience. And number 9, we have Panama. What's not to love about Panama? From the amazing weather, the food, the people, the culture, the beaches, everything's a vibe in Panama. That's why there's so many people moving to Panama. But if you don't know, Panama has a very large Afro-Panamanian community. So they're very embracing of African Americans. From you being able to experience the Panama Canal, which has so much history, they call it the world's greatest shortcut, or visiting Casca Viejo, which is one of the most historical areas in Panama, where there's so much history and culture and good vibes. And you just absolutely have to experience Panama. And again, if you're looking for an African American friendly destination, Panama is certainly one of them. Number 8, which is Thailand. Thailand is hands down one of my favorite places on this planet. Although Thailand doesn't have a large African descendant population, what they do have is a lot of African American expats moving to Thailand. And rightfully so. I'm tempted to move to Thailand every single day because Thailand has such a welcoming culture to just all demographics. The weather's amazing, the food is amazing, there's so much to do, and the cost of living is really low. So you can literally go to Thailand and live like a king or queen while being on a budget. If you're looking for a African-American friendly destination, Thailand is certainly one of them. And number 7, Indonesia, specifically Bali. I love Bali. That's another place I can definitely live. And similar to Thailand, although they don't have a large African descendant population, they have many African-American expats living in Bali because it's such a beautiful place. The cost of living is very low. The food is really good. There's so much to do. I feel like Bali is growing every single day, and it's just a thriving destination. And the people are very welcoming. Bali's a very spiritual destination, very free-spirited, positive vibes. And I love Bali. I've been to Bali a bunch of times. And it's like one of the perfect destinations for African Americans, really just any and everybody. And number 6, we have Canada, especially with cities like Toronto and Montreal. They have a heavy African and Caribbean presence. And if you don't know, in Toronto, they have this annual Caribbean festival. It is major, one of the biggest carnivals in the world. It's called Caravana, and I believe it happens around August every single year. But needless to say, there's a heavy African and Caribbean presence in Toronto and Montreal. So Canada definitely is a place for African Americans for sure, where you'll feel friendly. And there's so much to do. There's a lot of beautiful scenery, a lot of good vibes, good people. Canada's a really, really good place to visit for sure. Number 5, we have the United Kingdom. London easily, hands down, has one of the largest African and Caribbean populations outside of Africa, with neighborhoods like Brixton and Hackney being particularly significant. The UK has been a central hub for African Americans, especially with Africans playing a huge role with the culture of music, fashion, and arts. Number 4, we have the Netherlands. You have cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam, where they have an Afro-Dutch community that's growing extremely fast, and they're just very open to diversity. The Netherlands is a progressive country where Afro-Dutch culture is celebrated, especially in Amsterdam, where African-American expats often find a warm and welcoming environment. Definitely a good place for African-Americans to have a friendly environment. Number 3, this may surprise you, but it's France. In several cities in France, there's a large Afro-French community that's thriving. France has a rich African-American history, especially in Paris, where many African-American artists and musicians have found welcoming environments to their talents. In Paris, you can find so many African businesses, African chefs, and just African establishments as a whole. So when visiting France, as an African-American, you can certainly find some African or Caribbean culture when visiting there. And number 2, which is Mexico. When you have cities like Oaxaca that have a very, very strong Afro-Mexican community, or cities like Mexico City that's attracting a lot of African-American expats, Mexico is truly an amazing place for not just African-Americans, but everybody, but especially it is very friendly towards African-Americans. Even places like Cancun and Tulum, very accommodating, very welcoming, very diverse. And I truly believe between the amazing sunshine that Mexico has to offer, the amazing beaches, the food, which Mexico is known to have some of the best food in the world, you really can't lose going to Mexico. And I've never heard of an African-American not having a friendly experience going to Mexico. And number 1, drum roll, is Brazil, which is the country that has the most Black people outside of Africa. Even in Rio de Janeiro, Rio has a large Afro-Brazilian community, especially in areas like Santa Teresa. Brazil is definitely one of my favorite places in the world. And if you don't know, you can actually experience one of the best New Year's Eve celebrations in the world on Copacabana Beach. The fireworks show out there is incredible. The food is amazing out there. The cost of living is really good. I mean, listen, if you're truly looking for a destination that's African-American friendly and has an amazing vibe, you cannot lose going to Brazil. Traveling as an African American is not easy, but it's worth it. If you got any ideas from this video, please let me know in the comments below where you plan on traveling to next. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Also, share this with a friend that you plan on traveling with. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's go.
That was cool stuff, but there is a couple of things, right? And Mike V highlights one of them, not one African country in there. That was a surprise. But then there's this idea that, you know, when you boil it down, Africans are not overly fond of African Americans. Is that really true? And then we mentioned France. RNG says the French slaughtered Africans who fought for them in World War II, and Haiti had to pay the French after Haiti fought and won their independence. He also says the only safe place is his home, and he's been all around the world. And then Mike V had earlier brought up a great point about being hard to travel with airports all backed up like a toilet. And of course, and he's right about this for sure. Our people are worldwide. He says, long live Pan-Africanism. Sam P.K. Collins of the Washington Informant would love that comment. But there's a lot there. And I think the biggest takeaway is of his top 11, none of them was in the United States. and didn't it said worldwide? The U.S. is part of the world, right? So I don't know that he specifically sought to eliminate the United States. They just didn't make it. They didn't make the cut. And why would they right now, right? Why would they? But I like these travel things. I love those videos. Obviously, some of these travel videos and programs, they show you the best of the place that they are at. Like if you go into New York, there are certain places you know in Brooklyn you're not going to show. So what I'd like to see is, you know, this is the great place in Toronto, but just don't go here in Toronto. Dr. Nicole says that Ghana is notoriously Black American expat friendly. Yeah, and that is extremely true. You know, Ghana is, you know, their slogan to all of us has been for some time now, welcome home. And folks who've gone there, you know, they have the door of no return that brings everybody to tears. They have said, I've never heard any Black American who's gone to Ghana say that they've had some sort of negative experience in any way. Now, I've heard Black Americans who's gone to other places in Africa and say, I don't know if you should go there. Mike V says he's been to Ghana and South Africa, Ghana many times and South Africa, and he loved it. South Africa is a place. When I went to Africa, the one time I went to Malawi, and I stopped in South Africa. But I didn't leave the airport in South Africa, which I wish I had time to, because I wanted to. The one place I didn't want to check out was South Africa. Malawi was a very interesting place. And the biggest thing, I mean, you go downtown and you have your homes, your big homes, and the one big hotel owned by the president, and you have your businesses, and you have a lot of poverty, and a lot of folks better than that, though. Of course, most things are better than poverty. Um, but you have folks who work extremely hard. I saw a lot of big families, and they have, and again, I don't know what the term is, and so maybe it sounds ignorant, but I'm going to call them huts. Somebody can correct me and give me the right terminology, but I'm right now, out of my ignorance, I'm going to call them huts. And I would traveling out into the country, and like they said, let it be known, broadcasting from Johannesburg. um, but what I found, what was impressive, was the hard work, really hard work, dedicated family people, men, women, children work, families work. But the most impressive thing was how they looked after small children, how they looked after. 'Cause and I've told this story before. I always remember us driving. We're in three cars. We're riding and coming up roads that you don't really see anything. On the side of one of the roads, probably a dozen little kids, and the oldest probably was like 5 years old. And we are trying to figure out where we're supposed to go. And so we stop, and there is no one in sight, not an adult in sight, at least to our knowledge. The moment we stopped, though, and got out the car, when we got the car, it was like a movie. The adults that we never saw swarmed, like, "Can we help you?" You're encroaching upon our kids. That's saying it takes a village, and they were ready. I love that, to see that protection there for those kids. So while they were on the side of the road. They were just hanging together, these little kids, while their parents and guardians were out working, and it was so beautiful. I remember interviewing a man who he had a number of kids, and they lived in it. Again, no one has corrected me yet. I'm calling them huts. The little buildings you see with the straw or whatever. Um, and he's talked to him. Let us talk to this. So, gave him $20, American bucks. He was, thank you. This will basically take care of the next 6 months or whatever he said. And I was like, what? So I reached in and gave him another 20. And he was ecstatic. Um, Senegal is what RNG says is his favorite African country to visit. I wonder why. You got to tell us why, Senegal. Um, I would like to know. That is cool. And Trixie says that she's been to Little Africa, 116th Street in Harlem, huh? And she says they are actually called huts or round huts. So I'm not being rude. That's good to know. Thank you. Um, but I have no plans, right? Current plans at all, to go to Africa. When I went, it was such a spur of the moment type thing. I had never really had plans to go to Africa. I'm glad I went, no question about it. But as I said, being in the airport in South Africa, I really wanted to go out and experience a little bit of South Africa. And I didn't get a chance to do that. Senegal, I want to know, RNG, why Senegal is your favorite African country to visit. Mike V, you got to tell us about Ghana and why you love South Africa. Ah, I should have known something like that, Mr. Mr. Freaknik says that Senegal gives me the Caribbean video. Okay. They are nice, though. I tell you what, however you want to view it, the colorfulness, the beauty, it's just, it's breathtaking. It really is. So I guess we're got to check out some more. Maybe in our next travel segment, we will take a deeper look at Senegal. Senegal. Trixie says, I want to go to Africa, but I really want to go to Montserrat. Okay, that makes sense. I've heard about that too. Um, Probably can't pronounce it right, but I heard about it. Oh gosh. Hey, we got news you can use from our girl, our TikTok buddy, Miss Johnny D. And let's see, she's got something serious this morning too. And let's see how she handles it because she's got jokes. So let's check it out.
To shiny white. It's your girl, Shiny B. And if you fool her, you got to fool her, yeah.
Disclaimer. Do you know what I despise? As much as we get our news from the news kind of highlights certain things and then they never do a follow-up story. So a lot of these teams glorify these news breaking stories. And of course, the jails and the governments that surround these minors having the ability to follow the rules, they don't do anything to these minors when they make adult decisions to either kill something or seriously injure. And I don't like that. And I don't like that with your ugly ass. Because if you don't put the fear on them, then they're going to constantly keep doing things thinking, yeah, the worst that's going to happen is 2 years in detention. And they're taking lives, people we care about. I don't know if y'all heard about this story, but I'm taking you on down to a high school. Lake Brantley High School. And what's disappointing about it is there are 2 girls, one of them to be a transgender, that had worked out a plot on killing another student. And the video I'm going to show you, because I got a video, is of the moment where they had gotten arrested and they were in the back of the police SWAT car. I'm only going to give you the snippet because the original video is 30 minutes long and we don't have that type of time. But just listen to the conversation that they're having. And I want you to start talking to your kids about making adult decisions because you're not ready for the smoke. But let's roll the video. Let's go.
Not a school shooting, at least.
We'd be in prison for life.
Yeah. How long am I gonna get?
I'm probably not gonna get that much time. I mean,
I test the knife
for a few seconds, yo.
Were you trying to look good for your mugshot?
Am I gonna get a mugshot?
What, we're going to jail? What do you think?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, I was gonna do my makeup this morning for the mugshot, but I couldn't find anything.
I'm glad I don't actually look too bad today.
I look horrible. It's over.
Oh my God. Ooh, so what say what? What is going on? The fact that they're sitting with their hands behind their back and they talking and laughing, not knowing that the entire back car is being recorded. And she's like, you know what? I should have went ahead and did a psychiatrist appointment. Because then it could have been a lesser sentence for me because I could have played crazy. So that means that they've been studying how minors get off, right? Then they're glorifying. Well, let me stop here and say rest in peace to those that lost their life at Sandy Hook Elementary School a few years ago in 2012. And to the people that still have to deal with that pain, because pain and grief doesn't have a timeline. It goes on to the break of dawn. And now, since 2012, there's been more and more school shootings or more and more school shooting related threats. Now, when I was growing up, the only school shooting that happened was the Columbine school shooting. And that was the one that started all of this stuff to where people was like, ooh, let me go get some tactical gear. Ooh, I'm gonna steal my parents' gun type stuff. So I don't know what's going on But y'all gonna have to change the laws because now they're knowing that they are, depending on their age group, at the maximum only gonna be in detention from the young age to 18. And then it's up to your state laws that says if they're gonna be tried as an adult or if they're gonna have additional time. But most times after detention, they're done. They're not sad. They're actually excited that their faces are on the news. So in the conversation in the back of the vehicle, you heard them say again, well, my mom probably doesn't know what I'm doing. The other one said, I actually wanted to do my makeup before class because I knew my mugshot was going to be fire. Meanwhile, can't even breathe because the seatbelt can't even go around that big ass neck. But you got time to do school shooting plots, but not time to get on Ozempic. Crazy work. We're not even going to go there. Real glass. Any kid can get it when you talk about killing another kid. So just to give you an idea, they plotted to kill a classmate. Allegedly. Now, in this plot to kill the classmate, this is how detailed that they were. You need to start, parents, checking your child's phone because they had this ritual. Some type of ritual. It gives Ouija board. It gives one of these with candles lit and just blood sacrificing. Okay? And in this ritual, they were going to bring a knife because this little boy at their school that they were going to allegedly kill looked like the killer that was the Sandy Hook's shooter. You catching what I'm putting down? We'll pick it up. Well, they were going to bring a knife, flowers, candy, and cigarettes as a part of the ritual. And in this ritual, they were going to allegedly push this kid into a stall, stab him, or slice his throat. Then that blood that came out of that student's neck, that's what they were going to use with the things that they brought for this ritual to bring the Sandy Hook shooter back to life. What type of non-Disney Channel shit is this for y'all ugly ass to be watching? What movie y'all watching? So that's why I don't be watching all them sinister ass movies because it has messages that these folks are really doing. People are demonic, okay? Kids too. Whitney Houston said, I believe the children are our future. Not these kids, not these scalawags. They're not our future. Now, when they did this situation, they probably talked about it. And one student, which I'm applauding, didn't just say, I ain't gonna say nothing. Shh. They went and told authorities. That's why the plan didn't go through. But they were already planning for it to go through. Unbeknownst to them, they were on to them. And I'm so blessed that you said something. Yes, people are going to ridicule you and call you a snitch, but baby, you saved lives. You hear me? The fact that they're sitting in the car laughing at this, saying, dang, man, it didn't happen, or dang, man, I wish it would have happened, and if it happened, it would have went like this. You're not mentally ill. You are mentally stable. You need to stop putting these teenagers in detention centers and send them right to prison. You're giving them too much leeway, America, because they're comfortable with being murderers because they want 5 minutes of fame because what? They want to go viral. They're not caring about education. Oh, no. We don't know if it's the food, the shots that they had y'all taking or what. But these kids ain't the same kids that we were when we was kids. Baby, sitting in the back of the car just laughing, having a good time. Now, those two are best friends, so I can only imagine they probably did everything with each other and kept each other's deepest, darkest secrets. But I'm showing you this because at the end of the day, we're seeing schools rev up, having protective cell walls that protect from high-powered guns so the kids can always get in there and it locks a certain way so the school shooter cannot open it up. But at this point, if they're going to do a knife attack, how do you stop that? Baby, what we going to do to protect our babies? That's what I need to know. Because this right here is not cute. It's not funny. And more kids are thinking like them. So you got them off the streets, but what you doing about the other person that's writing a manifest right now about what they plan to do and who they plan to tell? I just told y'all last week, a 10-year-old wrote on the whiteboard and put on a little piece of paper how he was going to act up and get slapped up out here because he was going to take his hands and put them on a weapon and get rid of some kids. So at this point, they're not scared. They're not scared of jail. They're not scared of their parents. They're not scared. They're just not. So we need to adapt some of these laws and rules that other countries have because they definitely kill them on sight. An eye for an eye. I can't tell you that I'm waiting on the laws to punish these kids. I can't tell you that because when I love, wholeheartedly. So if you take mine, we definitely paying you for it with one being taken back. Call it what you want to, but we're being too nice. If your kids think it's funny to kill, then we all gonna be laughing at each other's funeral because, baby, eye for an eye. Hey, with your ugly ass. And I'm not caring what age you are, because if you're old enough to think about adult behavior, you are well enough to serve adult time. So fix it. Fix it. School administration board, what we doing now? You see the video a lot of time, what we doing now. So, baby, I'm just the messenger. It's your girl, Shiny B. If you're cool with your girl, don't fool with your girl. Make sure you check out the website. Yes, www.shinybeentertainment.com. Check out the figure. Optional drop donations, but never any pressure to do either of the two, because I see the likes, the shares, the comments mean the world to me. So I just want to tell you thank you from my lips to your ears rocking with me, because y'all be anywhere in the world. I already told y'all my Shawnee's World is now downloadable on Amazon Fire Stick or Roku TV. You would just look for the app Vomo, VOMO, and boom, you'll see a lot of entertainment on that channel. Shout out to everybody that put me in the position to be on their channel. But let's hop in the comments. You're talking to your kids, because this is what your kids do when you at work, parents. Start monitoring their phone. Start putting booby traps in the house so you can know what your kids really doing and thinking, because they're pretending to be crazy, but they ugly ass know exactly what they doing, because they're telling us now that they know what they're doing. Now, there's no pity on me for these two. None. I don't have any remorse, any sympathy at all. But I do have nothing but a round of applause for the student that says something. Because in these days and time, everybody swears it's not their business until it becomes public news. And then you was like, I should have did something. You did a great job to the student that said something. Now, to the student that looked like the person that they were honoring in a ritual that they were going to kill, baby, get up out of that school district. Baby, get up out of that state. If your parents can relocate, do. Homeschooling, please do. Because at some point, this ain't the first, this ain't the last. Y'all talk to y'all babies because they crazy. But until next time, next story.
Wow. As I said, it was going to be interesting how she framed that one or tackled that one. Wow. So we see Trixie's comment, if we speaking in the blackness of it all, vote for her to be your next Maxim cover girl. And they are in the midst of a serious competition. And there you have it. They're in the midst of a competition. The Maxim Cover Girl Contest is an annual online competition where aspiring models compete for cash prizes, a photo shoot in a luxury location, a feature on the cover of Maxim magazine. The contest relies, folks, on public voting to narrow down contestants, concluding with a judging panel, and it serves as a platform for launching modeling careers. So how does it work? They create profiles with photos, and public voting determines who advances through various stages. Now they have advanced now on this stage, and as you see Trixie's bio on the cover. So they also, charity is involved, and of the grand prize is $100,000. $5,000 will be donated to the charity of the Cover Girl's choice, a trip to Italy, and the Venice photo shoot. And Trixie's going to donate $5,000 to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Right now, she's placing number 2. I don't see any. Okay, number 6 is a girl of color too. But so y'all know what to do, right? It's open to, the contest is open to aspiring models, and it's a confidence builder too. I mean, think about it. You're in the top 5, 10 of what folks think are, model worthy, beautiful women. They're placed in various small brackets. I think it's 25 to 30 to start. Within those brackets, they can compete against one another for votes, and the person who has the most votes at the end of the round moves to the next round, and the next round, and the next round. And so that's what the Maxim cover girl competition looks like. And we see the cover girl 2026 registration. They have other, which I'm not, whipped cream, which has a $25,000 cash prize, trip to the Bahamas, become a whipped cream brand campaign model. See, your mind, talking about Maxim, your mind starts to go places. Randa Rose. And these are the models that's been featured in Maxim. Cindy Crawford, Mila Kunis, Taylor Swift, Halle Berry. Taylor Swift? That's a loss right there. Who voted for her? Who voted for that? Beyonce has been featured. Pamela Anderson, Tyra Banks. Oh, well, we probably shouldn't even mention Tyra Banks at this point with all with all of this stuff that's been going on with her. Tyra Banks. But Trixie's watching. So y'all hook her up. Hook her up with the next Maxim cover girl. It sounds like it's a great thing overall. You get to go to Italy, the photo shoot. Of course, the money's always good, but then you're donating to a charity of your choice. Some of that, a little bit of that anyway, which is great. $5,000 to breast cancer awareness. That's wonderful. So, folks, get on the job. Get on the job. Y'all know what to do. And you also know what to do. Today is Wednesday, which means we are in the middle of the week. And if you're on the West Coast, I feel for you. But you probably didn't feel for us when we was going through that heat wave. I mean, the snow and the snowstorms and stuff. But have fun with it. Have fun with the weather. Orange says, Ronnie from the Players Girl has my vote. Who is that? You got to vote for Trixie. You can do it, Orange. You can vote for her. You can vote for Trixie. And Orange is probably going to support somebody in that Maxim because he wants the right person to win. He doesn't, it's not, I don't think as he would put it, or is it Mike V that loves to say mayonnaise? I don't think he wants any mayonnaise in there. So he'll probably hook you up. But y'all know what to do. And you also know what to do. Come back tomorrow for more. Let it be known. We got some major. I should have had the alert going, right? Should have had there you go. We have a major announcement coming on Monday. So I want you to tune in on Monday as well. A major announcement we will unveil on Let It Be Known. It's so exciting. And it'll include some giveaways, some serious giveaways, things that people I'm pretty sure lots and lots and lots and lots of people are looking forward to. What that is, you have to tune in Monday and tell your friends to tune in. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your cousin, your auntie. You got major stuff, okay? Stuff that is only made possible because we had to be independent. It's just the way it goes. That's the way love goes. We're gonna get out of here. We thank you again.
Let's go! Let's go, Flav. Hey! Rubber